Welcome to today's episode in the Java series. Today I'm going to be talking about variables and data types. What are variables? Think of variable as just a container this that is used to store something. This container is actually used to what? Store the water. So variables in computer terms is just a pointer to a memory what? Location. That means we are using it to store something. So it's just a pointer to where something is stored. Now, talking about data type itself is just a way of representing the data. Now, the same way I'm using this bottle water to represent what? Something that I'm storing. Think of this bottle water when it have a what? Different sizes now. Imagine you want to store a particular size that is bigger than this. There is a volume of water is bigger than this now. We're going to be requiring what? A bigger size of container. Now think of data types now. Data type is just a way of representing. We want to store something that is bigger. Now we need a what type of data representation. We want to store another thing like we want to store the name of somebody. We need a type of data to represent that name. We want to store numbers. We need a type of data to what represent numbers. We want to store boolean. Now we want to store something else, anything at all, you need what a kind of data to represent what that data you are storing. Now, in the last class, I talked about the installation of Java itself, that's the Java JDK, and we're able to write a very simple program in Java. Today, we are going to be writing, that's why I'm going to be showing you how to what declare variables, how to represent variables, represent numbers, represent somebody's name. So watch me as I take you through the series. So remember in the last class, we talked about installation of Java and we're able to write a very simple program. So I created a folder and the folder is anybody can code. In this folder is where we're going to be writing our programs. So for create a file here named variable.java. And .java is just our extension. Since we are writing a Java program, .java, we're using Notepad as the text editor. Open .java, variable.java using Notepad. Now, so public class variable. Remember that the name of your class should be the same thing as the name of your file. Since I'm using variable here with capital letter, I see the same thing as the name of my file. I'm going to be explaining the meaning of class in the series that is going to be coming up to you. But for this class, we're just dealing with variables, how to create variables, declaration of variables, and also explaining data types now. So public static void main. I'm going to be explaining the meaning of this for you. This is just where we are. In your main is where we are running the program. Think of it as the entry point, the door into your program. Immediately you open that door, that is where you are going to see all the things that are running now, because whatever we're writing, whatever we're doing, we're still going to end up calling the main. So it's inside the main that you are going to be running the program. So public static void main. So for this part now, write your program here. We're writing our programs here. Program here. So let's create a variable. Now, let declare a variable called number. So there's a variable called number, and I declared a variable called number. It's just a container. That means I want to store something, right? I want to store an integer inside of that container. Now, the data type, that means the representation, what am I trying to store? I want to store a number. The data type here is called int. And for Java, just like in sciences where we have fundamental quantities and we have derived quantities, in Java we also have their own fundamental quantities and derived quantities, which is referred to as primitive type and also what reference types. Now, our primitive type is just the building block for the reference types, where we have eight type of primitive type in Java, where we have the byte, we have the int, we have the long, we have the short, we have the boolean, we have the char, we have the float, like that. But for this class, I'm just going to be dealing with one, which is what? I'm going to be dealing with two, which is int to store a number, and string. Let me say string. Let me write it. String is used to store, let me say string name. So we're using string. String is a reference type. That means there's a combination of primitive types created the reference type. Do you understand? It's just a building block for what? From the primitive types now. So I declared a variable called number now, and I declared a variable called name. Let me wipe out name for now. Now, the variable called number, I want to store something inside. Let's store 20, the integer 20 inside of it. So this is 20. I don't know if you take note that I'm using a semicolon to end this particular line statement. It is very, very important in Java that you use semicolon whenever you end a statement on a line like this. So if I want to move to the next line, I will need to use what? Semicolon. Let me print out this number on the terminal. System.out.print. So we're calling number. Do you know why we can call number? It's because number is now representing something is already stored in number. So anytime I call number, what I will be receiving is the output, which is what is stored inside of it. So how do we compile? Open your command prompt and go into that folder. This cd is called change directory, into the folder, cd into anybody can code, which is the folder on our desktop. So inside this folder is where we are going to run the code. We have our variable.java there. So you use the command called javac. Remember I said that Java compiles twice, and the first compilation is just compiling the source code to bytecode. Then the second compilation is where the bytecode is now converted towards the machine language, which is what we are trying to do here. We want to use the command prompt to visualize what the output of our program. We want to see it now. So variable javac variable.java. Now, if you go back to this folder, you are going to see a new file has been created due to the fact that we already compiled to bytecode. Inside this file is called variable.class. Inside this file is the bytecode now. Go back to your command prompt. We are going to run this program. Just use Java to run it. Java variable. Now, it did not print out anything. I want to know why. Nothing was printed out. Okay, I think I did not save. So let me save and go back. So you need to recompile it. Let's recompile it. So this is it. 20 has been what? Printed. Can you see it? 20 has been printed. So it's just a way of saying that, oh, I declared a variable and I assigned the value to it. The value of the variable is 20. Now, so variable is just a way of representing, a way of storing our data. And the data type is a way of representing that type of data. So for this data type, for this integer, which is 20 we are storing now, the data type here is called what? Int. And the variable is what? Number. Now, let me create a variable called string. A string is a reference type actually in Java. A string is not a primitive type. Now, just like saying a string is a derived type or derived what? Quantity, as being said in sciences. So let me declare another variable here and name it string. The string is name. I want to store name. And let me say I'm assigning a value to this variable for now. I'm assigning, you can see, let me say I'm assigning miracle to it. You can see, then I'm going to print miracle on the terminal. System.out. This is how we print in Java. This is how we print on this place, on the command prompt, on the output here. So I want to print miracle in this place, and we need to recompile our program. First compilation, converting to what? Bytecode, then converting to, you can see miracle is printed already on this terminal. So that's just it. For this class, I'm just talking about int, and I'm just talking about what? String. I want you guys to go back and try to try out different things with the other primitive types. Try out different things. You can also check reference types, try out different things, write a simple program and all. So for the next class, I'm going to be taking you through writing a very simple program with the variables, like writing a calculator and other programs like that. While we proceed to explaining what is a class and or what is an attribute and other things. Thank you.